Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for Swan Lounge. Bitcoiners, pre-coiners, no-coiners, and shit-coiners. Welcome to Swan Lounge. Gentlemen, oh no. You know what time it is. I keep doing this. I keep forgetting to turn the stream off. Sorry, folks. I'm going to start over. Start fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoiners, pre-coiners, no-coiners, and shit-coiners. Welcome to Swan Lounge, a weekly show in which you get to hang out with the Swan Team and some of our friends from the amazing world of Bitcoin. We do this show every Friday, and it's called Swan Lounge because we're lounging. Unlike our more serious show, Swan Signal Live, Swan Lounge is about kicking it with our friends, talking about the week's biggest events in Bitcoin, and just having some fun. And I think this week we'll do a little drinking while we're at it. Before we dive in, I have a few very important business items. We are doing something that I think is pretty darn cool. We're giving away Jan Pritzker's book, Inventing Bitcoin, for free. Go grab it. It's free. What are you doing? Do it after the Swan Lounge, not right now. Up next, man, folks, I'm sorry. I'm just screwed up. I'm trying to live produce the show while I do the intro. It's not working very well. Take some practice. To all the Swan Force members out there, we have set up a way for you to give away the book to help you recruit new Bitcoiners. Look in your referral dashboard and you'll find a link you can use to send people to your Swan Force landing page so that they can get the free book offer and you can get the referral credit. And if you're not signed up for Swan Force, folks, what are you doing? Go sign up for Swan Force. It's a great deal. swanbitcoin.com/enlist. Get paid to recruit new Bitcoiners. And we have a lot of fun while we're doing it. Also, make sure to watch to the end of the show because we're doing something special. We started doing it last week. We are calling it Swan Force Fridays. And sorry, guests, I didn't tell you this. We're putting you on the spot. And we are going to make you give us your best Bitcoin pitch in 1 minute or maybe 90 seconds. Sorry about that. We've got a Citizen Bitcoin logo that's just magically appeared for some reason. What's it doing there? All right, there we go. Swan Lounge. Finally, the daily buys beta is underway. Are you guys as sick of these shills as I am? I know you are. I'm sorry. Sign up, swanbitcoin.com/daily buys. Now, before I bring in our guests, one last thing. I promise it's the last thing. Please, please, please smash that like button. It helps us get seen. It helps everyone, see the show, and helps us beat those dirty, dirty YouTube algorithms. So smash like, hit subscribe. And now, without any further ado, I promise I'm going to unmute my guest with a little bit of further ado. It is time for Swan Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
About fucking time.
Where's Pedro? You know what? Hey, hold up. Okay, I listened to an RHR the other day. It had 10 minutes of shill. 10 minutes. So.
Oh shit! What is that you got there, Matt?
Old Pulteney. I've never had it before. What? There we go.
Oh,
Old Pulteney.
Never even heard of it.
Single malt Scotch whiskey, the Maritime malt.
There's a lot of shilling, Berkey.
So you get a lot of shilling? I know. I need to make it more concise. We'll see. Not my fault.
I'm gonna join Matthew. I got some Mictors here.
There we go.
Anybody else?
I've got the steak you bought me today. Look at the
I
size
haven't
of
bought
it.
shit for you yet.
Look at the size of that steak. You bought that for me, dude. Thank you.
About losing a bet to a British person is like they're gonna spend it on like gardening supplies or something. I don't know what you fuckers do over there.
You know what I'm gonna do?
And I don't want to know.
I'm never gonna spend it. And I told you I'm setting up one of those Twitter bots. It's gonna remind you how much the bet's worth every day.
Yeah, and what did I say? I said there's no fucking way you can set up a Twitter bot.
You made a good point, but I'm gonna pay someone to do it. With your money.
It's probably already been done.
Oh, man, we got some funny comments already. Brady looks almost nude without the swan pin on. Oh, I thought that was
Sorry, Bardis. Forgot my swan pin.
Absolute Bang, Absolute Vodka and Bang is perfect for this vibe. Not bad. We'll see about that. I don't think any of us are drinking that right now.
I'm gonna roll with the special edition Swan Force pin today.
You know what? I'll put mine on too. Why not?
Shout out BTC pins.
Yeah.
So what's going on with this Trump bet? Is Phil gonna have to step in and be the proper co-signer that he is?
Probably. I didn't realize you couldn't trust Americans.
Jens, can you give us an overview of the bet for the folks at home who aren't aware of it, living under a rock?
So me and Peter made a bet on the U.S. presidential election. I think Pete's specific verbiage when he put out the tweet originally was that Trump was going to lose the election, which left Pete a lot of open wiggle room. Because I think, Pete, didn't originally you thought they were going to replace Biden with somebody who wasn't an old geriatric?
Yeah, I did. But I thought he was going to lose. I mean,
so yeah, and so that was the bet, and it's looking more like I'm losing the bet, honestly. So,
you reckon?
Although I think we can all agree there's a lot of bullshit going on. So who knows what the fuck is going to happen? It's kind of it's like 75% decided for you, but there's like 25% Hail Mary, like Trump's going to go to the court system and pull a win out of his hat, you know? So
there's 75% decided, 25% QAnon conspiracy.
I don't think you can do that, though. I mean, like, I don't know. All the very trustworthy mainstream media that I'm watching is saying that he doesn't have a chance to go to the courts if it plays out the way it's looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough because how are you going to litigate in all those different states at once? You know.
I mean, FTX has fallen to the lowest it's ever been.
What's it at now?
3% right now.
3%.
Yeah.
Confident. When it flipped, Pete texted me and was like, "Fuck, I lost."
The key thing about the FTX contract is it's attempts to price in if Trump doesn't leave the White House, because the way the contract closes in a dispute is it's whoever the president is on February 1st, 2021. Who's ever in the White House on February 1st, 2021.
So if he doesn't leave.
So they're factoring in a 3% chance that he also just stays in there.
Maybe he barricades himself in there and they don't get him out until February 2nd.
What's the precedent for that shit? Like, could he could probably technically do some shit like that, right?
I think the Secret Service would handle it in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah.
What's eminent? How long
White House is just
there before it becomes his?
Just a domicile, right? It's not like the seat of power. Like the White House doesn't make you president, so could he technically not be the president and hold himself up in the White House?
I mean, is he? He's holed himself up in Mar-a-Lago most of the presidency. That's technically the seat of power, I think.
That's the real White House.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
All right, Jen. So let's get started because Dan's on a bit of a time crunch, but he'll probably have so much fun that he'll stick around for the whole time.
I might be able to stay. This is a little earlier than I thought it was going to be. So
you've got this amazing website, and I want to show the folks at home, and hopefully you can give everyone a little walkthrough. So I'm going to bring that up right now. Can you just kind of tell us where the idea for this came from and why you spent so many hours doing this?
Yeah. I mean, I think for a long time, like one of the biggest problems Bitcoin has is education. It's just like people don't know where to start. They don't know how to contextualize Bitcoin either quantitatively or qualitatively. And, Bitcoin's 10 years old now, and it's come into its own as a global macro, relevant asset. So the site, casebitcoin.com, is trying to contextualize Bitcoin as the new macro asset that it is. So you'll see like the key markets it tracks is Bitcoin against S&P, gold, silver, other currencies. We have a bunch of Bitcoin specific stats, and then key to this all is how Bitcoin is performing against what's happening in kind of global monetary economics. So you see a bunch of government stats at the bottom. So M2. Treasury yields, Federal Reserve balance sheet, which I think these numbers are all very highly correlated with Bitcoin's performance. And then on the day-to-day, content side, just kind of tracking the key stories that that are happening every day that are relevant to Bitcoin. And the other side of it for pre-coiners obviously is getting up to speed on all the theoretical and fundamental basis, for Bitcoin. So if you want to head over to the library tab, we track 100 plus content pieces that make the case for Bitcoin. So these are all pieces that are bullish, that really, because a key aspect here, I think, is once somebody goes down the rabbit hole and reads all the content, it's hard to not be bullish. So yeah, this is an attempt to categorize it all, and eventually we'll turn it into tracks that make sense for different personas. So ideally, kind of any type of person will be able to hit this, see content that that they're interested in, and go down the rabbit hole.
Dude, I love this pub price on these pieces. So I'm looking at Bitcoin fundamentals, and there's a publication price, or price of the date of publication, right? The real MVP. There's one here without a price, $0. Money is memory, but that's from 1996. But there is one post launch on monetary restandardization, published at $1.18. That's the real MVP.
Yeah, there are a few. If you click history, there are a dozen there. A few of which are very early.
Exactly. Love it. It's gonna hit me. I've already sent this to like many friends and family.
Nice. Good to hear. Yeah, eventually, like one of the next things I'll be adding is critiques. So it's like really, Bitcoin FUD and the rebuttals. Mm-hmm. Ideally, I'll make them numbered and individually linked. So when you see somebody, when Peter Schiff shouts about it having no intrinsic value, be like, okay, that's Bitcoin FUD number 12. Here's
everyone
the link.
Everyone will just reply in the comments. Number 12.
Exactly.
12.
Can we just not Peter Schiff anymore? Like I think we were beyond the Peter Schiff is relevant phase of Bitcoin's history, and he just I don't know, annoys me.
It's just a fun meme to keep around at this point.
That's fair, I guess so. Everyone's drinking; they don't want to talk about Peter Schiff. All right, folks. Let's talk a bit about the news, and then we can shoot the shit and screw around later. I saw something pretty bullish. And Matt, I'm sorry if this was all on RHR. I haven't listened yet, but the number of unique Bitcoin addresses surging. I feel like
what's RHR?
RHR? Some shitty podcast. I don't know. I've never even heard of it, but they do some fun stuff. Anyway.
Something for a better show than that.
RHR, Rabbit Hole Recap, the best podcast in Bitcoin, the podcast that turned me into the Bitcoiner I am.
There we go. Stay humble.
Matt, are you humble, Matt, these days? I saw a tweet yesterday that was not very humble. I gotta say, I can't remember what it was.
I thought all things considered, it was pretty humble.
Humble is there's a scale of humbleness.
Yeah, there's a humility scale.
Yeah. Matt ratioed me super hard yesterday. It was great.
With your own words. That's how you know it's a good one.
Well, that's the best ratio of all time.
Recap this one.
Here it is.
Tell it to us. I want to hear the story.
Oh, I was saying, what did I say? I said, damn, it's just, like fucking struggling from success, man. I'm making more today than most people make in a decade, And I was like, I don't need to rub people's faces in it, though.
So I just quoted both those quotes, and I ratioed that motherfucker.
Matt, what's the? Can you go into the art of ratioing and humble tweeting?
Those are the best ones. Those ratio ones are the best ones. My tweets aren't. Twitter doesn't reward humility in tweets. They reward confidence and simplifications that are just over bullish. Like if you can just make something very short and sweet and like over bullish and just completely dismiss all trade-offs, that's going to get you the most engagement possible. So you're just trying to navigate that and like ethics.
Do you remember the best Matt Odell ratio of all time? Do you know what it is?
Something with Vitalik, maybe?
No, it was with Pomp. Matt, tell him it was the best.
Oh, that one still exists because he doesn't actually get his account banned like someone else, so that all the ratios disappear.
That's the real reason I see. Okay, that makes sense. What's your handle these days? Is it still 615?
I don't even know. But dude, it was the best. Fucking Pomp was like, "Hey man, I gotta hand it to you guys. Stacking Sats is the best marketing campaign in the space." And Matt was like, "It's not a marketing campaign. It's a lifestyle."
Like, no, it's not crypto. It's Bitcoin. It's not a marketing campaign. It's a lifestyle. I felt actually really. I kind of felt shitty after that one.
Well, it was like man. You took a man's soul on that one. Like it was really.
I felt bad. That one really felt because he was like, he was honestly commending me. Yeah.
What does that mean of a comeback though? I don't think.
I got triggered that he said crypto and marketing. Like I was triggered. My response was a straight triggered response. Usually sometimes you lose control and you just whip back, and you want to reduce that as much as possible. You should try not to do that. There's a couple times where I've regretted doing that, but it is what it is.
Do you ever delete? Or do you have a no delete policy, right?
No delete policy.
Yeah.
Which is a tricky one. The next day after you don't want to be on Twitter after whiskey and have a no delete policy. It's a very, very risky situation to be in.
It is a risky situation.
Gotta stick to your principles though.
Peter, how's the steak? Tell us about it. How's the mouth feel? What sauce are you having with it?
He's probably muted because of all of his amazing steak.
You're muted.
All right, it's really good. We've got this really great butcher in Bedford. And on a Friday, if you go down on Friday, they have their best steaks. And I was like, I've just won a really, really big bet. What is the biggest and best steak you have? They had this prize cow that they got from the Queen. And they were like, look, it's really expensive. And I was like, no, it doesn't matter. You've got no idea how much money I've just won. It's a lot. It's the biggest bet I've ever done. It's fantastic. I wish you could have them, Hodl.
Is this the biggest bet you've ever won?
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck am I going to make a $7,000 bet?
I mean, I live in Vegas, so this is pennies there.
And the bet increased, right? What was obviously, what was the price when the bet was made?
We made it. It was $5,000. So it was Bitcoin was like $10,000. So now it's like 7 or 7,500 or whatever. 7,600.
Wait till we go.
I can tell you what it was.
Had $1 million bet.
It was. I think it was like 9,600 was the Bitcoin price, if I'm remembering correctly.
I can find out the date of the show, and I can tell you.
I did a Super Bowl bet in like early 2017, and then Bitcoin proceeded to go 20x, and then I lost it.
Yep.
You never make long-term bets in Bitcoin.
Dude, this is not the first time I've lost Bitcoin gambling either, man. I've probably lost 5 Bitcoin gambling, which is brutal. Now that
I'd expect worse from you.
I mean, it could be. You could have been like buying like a battle axe for Diablo 3 back in the day. Like, how many people do we know that have done that?
I lost all my Bitcoin gambling.
That's true. Me too. Actually, come to think of it.
Yeah, sure, Matt. Matt, you got to talk to your cousins. I'm not going to share any personal information, but I am friends with Matt's cousin. He was talking about you and talking about your Bitcoin, and I looked at him and I said, Matt would not be happy if he knew that you were saying these things.
He doesn't know. He's just pulling it out of his ass.
This is always a problem with the people you turn on to Bitcoin in real life. Like, they don't really truly understand, And you hear it get back to you. It's like, yeah, hey, so-and-so said you're like super rich off Bitcoin. You're like, whoa, what the fuck, man? But you're like, yeah, it's true.
People talk about it differently than they talk about. Actually, no. People they shoot the shit about who's got fiat money too.
So the price was 30th of June. We made the bet, and the low was 9,059, and the high was 9,515. So it's about like 9,150 because I put it out. Let's do $5,000 on Twitter. Hodl joined me, and then we just agreed like half a Bitcoin is about $5,000, and yes, it's up. What's that about? Quite a lot.
I think we should, while we've got you both here, I think it's time to make a new
bet. What's the new bet?
Double. You got to give them double or nothing, man.
I'll take it. I'm a degen.
What do you want to bet on?
I don't know. I'm gonna find something. Dude, we should go. I'll tell you what, man. I'll fly to England and we'll do like Premier League.
Mate, if we could get in the stadiums, I would take you.
Well, I know. Like maybe next year when it's open.
Yeah.
Peter, y'all are still. You're in a new lockdown, right?
Yeah, it started yesterday. My gym said they were going to ignore it, and they did. And I went down there, and it was fine. The police turned up, and they were okay. The police said, "Look, just keep yourself to yourself." And then environmental health came down and locked them down. So what they said now, they turned it into a mental health support group because mental health, and you're allowed to come for a 1 hour of mental health support.
That's legit, man. That's legit. Body and minds, you know?
Yeah, but like,
Jesus
if
Christ.
you have got mental health issues, actually, going to the gym is probably one of the best things you could do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Totally.
But, yeah, we've got a 1 month lockdown now, which is a bit shit.
Complete lockdown? Just like,
Yeah.
like you literally can't, food and mental health, and that's it?
Food, mental health, kids can go to school. But I tell you what's weird is this time I haven't noticed it because we had our lockdown, and the only thing I do differently from the lockdown is I go to the gym. So, okay, I can't go to the gym, but everything else is kind of the same. Also, people are kind of ignoring it. Yeah, people are saying, "Oh, do you want to come over and have a beer? Just come around my house," which I know is bad if you like want to respect the lockdown, but I just think people don't care anymore. I think they've got lockdown fatigue.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I'm tired as fuck of it, man. We're not so locked down here anymore, but you still have to like wear masks everywhere.
Where are you? Whereabouts?
Outside Kansas City, like
Okay.
center of the United States. The kids
Brady moved there so we could fly on the Fed. True story.
Wow.
we have a fed bank, and we have really good cows, really delicious cows here.
Better than Bedford out here.
But yeah, the school situation is what's most frustrating, and like every school district handles it a little differently, and like they just they arrived at like the worst possible compromise plan, and it's just shit for the teachers, shit for the kids. It's a mess, man.
What is it? The schools are closed? Some of them?
They do this hybrid thing. So like half the class, so they can social distance while they're in the classroom. Half the class goes Monday and Thursday. Half goes Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday, Friday. Everyone's remote on Wednesdays. But then like you have kids who need childcare, and they go to wherever they're getting childcare. Their boys and girls clubs or their after school care or whatever, and they're exposed to all those people. And then they bring that back in the classroom. If you just went back full time and kept everyone in the classroom, eat your lunch in the classroom, you're exposed to that, set of kids, and that's it. Like, much easier for the teachers, much easier for the parents. Don't have to go back and forth. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, the madness of these policies that's come out of this is just trying to make everybody happy, right?
Yeah, I do wonder how much social distancing actually works though in a classroom environment, because kids are like. My daughter said they were told to socially distance, and then by the second day they were just running around in the playground holding hands.
Yeah,
hugging each other, climbing all over desks. Boys are fighting. It just
been stuck inside for 6 months. What are you gonna expect? 8-year-olds to do?
We're still not seeing much transmission amongst kids, right?
Yeah, that's
pretty
fine.
minor. Yeah.
Kansas City is representing in the comments, and I just wanted to say that it's pretty sad that Brady had to say which country it's located in.
I don't know why I said that. I didn't necessarily need to say that, but I guess people.
Hey, if you're
knew
international though, do you know Kansas City? Is that in your?
I don't know. It's kind of on the line. I think everyone in the U.S. knows Kansas City, but like it's not really international unless you're an NFL fan these days.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
We got
It's
the
the
guy.
Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Chiefs are winning, so that's good.
Yeah.
You got Mahomes now.
We got Mahomes. We got the guy. We got the new Tom Brady.
It's true.
Kansas City, that's in Kansas, right?
Actually, most of it's in Missouri.
Most of it? What do you mean?
Yeah. Most of it. It's like it's split. There's actually a road called State Line runs down the middle of the city.
That I do not know.
Man, this is fascinating.
Geography.
Skylar asked us a question.
Matt, you want to host this? You want to host this show?
Yeah.
He's doing better than you are.
Yeah.
We just found a Bitcoin block.
From Skylar, all right? We're going to answer your question, fam. Don't worry. Global equity market is roughly 90 trillion. Gold market cap about 9 trillion. Can BTC capture 20 to 25% of that capital? Why are you so bearish, Tyler? That's my answer.
25% of the gold market cap, because that's pussy shit. Of course.
Wait.
Of course, we're gonna do that.
Is the question, can it capture 20 to 25% of gold's market cap, or
gold's market cap.
Global equity market cap? Well, yes. The answer is yes.
The answer is it's going to capture all of it. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? And all the money in space, all the alien money, we're getting that too. It's all ours.
Brady, we have another very important question. What happened to the new all-time high in 16 hours, bro?
Yeah, that was an example of what Matt was talking about. You just trim it down, make the most bullish statement you possibly can, and it gets all kinds of engagement.
Dude,
that one blew up.
Bitcoin Twitter in a bull market is like such easy mode. You can't lose. You can't lose. You know.
Do you see that thing with Barry yesterday?
No, I missed it.
So it kept I sent you the tweet. It kept getting near 15 and not. So I just put this tweet out. I was like tag Barry. So I was like, Barry, get Bitcoin through 15K already. And then he replied, goes, sit tight. And about 3 minutes later, it shot through.
What a move, man! What a move!
What was he doing with all that fiat?
How long were we in the 14s? It was like a half.
Not very long. Not very long.
Not very long.
What's motivating this though? I have all my friends and family asking me why is it going up right now? Why is it going up right now? I don't really have a solid answer. Some people are doing the Silk Road thing, but I don't.
It's more people are buying than selling.
Yeah, it's just here. I mean, it's organic, bro. Just keep using the word organic.
Look how much Grayscale and Cash App are buying. And now PayPal's coming in.
Listen to Dan. Dan's got a good answer here.
Look at the 2016 chart. It's if you index it to percent down from all-time high, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the halving being priced in.
Now the question is, do you think we'll have the same move? Do you think we'll go as high as 16 or 16 to 17?
20x the prior all-time high. I don't know. I mean, each time I always have much smaller targets than what the reality ends up being.
So what would you say, by half, 10x all-time high?
Yeah. So let's see. We did 32x in. Actually, no. It was the 2010 high was 50 cents or something, and then 2011 hit 32, so 64x. 2013 did 30x, and then 20x in 2017. This is relative to prior all-time highs. So yeah. I mean, we're still looking at in the 10x plus range.
Do you think the union bias is going to weird a lot of people out? Do you think that'll affect it at all?
Well, most people don't have money, so most people are not going to be buying. I mean, this is the time when rich people take their seats.
This is why we stack sats.
Right, well, that's true too.
We're already preparing for that unit bias, right? What are we at right now? We're at 6,500 sats per dollar. Sats are still very cheap.
Have
you heard about Sats? It's the next big.
Have you heard about Sats?
That's going.
Good bullish tweet right there. No, but
I love the Sats framing, but also you can say Bitcoin having this huge sticker price means that it's something really valuable. It's something I should pay attention to.
True.
Yeah. The other problem though is a lot of I talked to a guy yesterday. He literally asked me, "Can I buy a fraction?" I was like, "Yeah, of course you can." But there's
call them Sats.
Yeah.
As per that last question that someone asked about the DOJ coins, they're going to absolutely auction them. They always auction them off.
They should really just hold them at this point.
The taint magically disappears once they own them, and then they sell them out to the public.
It's actually really good that that department of the government doesn't talk to the other departments of the government, because they should have just hold on to them. That way, when they print more and more money, they're in a decent position.
Well, what's interesting is they hodl the Monero they seize. They don't auction the Monero.
How do you know?
For real?
They announced that in their crypto framework, buried in that 84 pages of the crypto framework, was that Zcash and Monero they don't auction off.
Matt, we have a new policy I'm implementing right now that every time you say crypto or name a crypto by name, you have to drink. That's
cool. I'm cool with that.
For you over there.
I'm completely cool with that.
Is their reasoning why they don't auction them off is because they know that they'll be put right back into illicit transaction use cases?
They're saying that Bitcoin's like legitimate,
right?
In their eyes, like has legitimate uses, and privacy coins. I'll drink to that. Don't, so that they don't want to enable criminals.
They view it as like
cocaine.
Right, like if you seize machine guns, you wouldn't auction them back off.
Right, they don't auction machine guns.
What do we know about this DOJ thing, Silk Road Bitcoin thing?
Well, they clearly knew who the hacker was, right, Matt?
That's how they got it, right? They identified the person and they leaned on him.
If you listened to RHR yesterday, you would have gotten the hot take. But they whoever it was hacked Silk Road in 2012. This is what it appears to be. Hacked Silk Road in 2012, sold 100 Bitcoin on BTCE in 2015, which was like the bottom. So they sold like $20,000, $30,000 worth of Bitcoin at the bottom. And then BTCE got seized, right? So I'm assuming that 100 that they sold on BTCE exposed their identity, connected it some other way, and then they went and pressured that person. They were like, "We know you have $1 billion worth of stolen Bitcoin. Give us that Bitcoin," and they gave them the Bitcoin.
This is interesting because they couldn't just go seize the money in an account, some standard account. Like this person had leverage to be like, okay, I'm not, I'll only give it to you if I don't go to jail.
What's also interesting here is this wallet has been circulating on the dark web, encrypted though. So it's an encrypted wallet.dat. So and with the explanation saying, here's a wallet that's holding $1 billion. If you can brute force the password, you'll have access to the wallet. So 6102 Bitcoin is theorizing that the guy was trying to do some plausible deniability there, where he releases on the dark web, and then he's like, "Oh, but then I just hacked the wallet.dat. I didn't hack the Silk Road."
Makes sense.
Which is also an interesting little twist, but we don't really know full details yet. People are just speculating.
The transfer time on that was interesting too. That the 69,000 Bitcoin hit that 1HQ wallet on April 9th, 2013, which was the exact peak of that run from $10 to 266. Like exact peak day.
That's pretty crazy.
I wonder, it must be connected, right? Because there must have been something going on inside Gox.
No, but this is Silk Road, not Gox.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They were all very connected back then, though.
Yeah, it was.
We're getting into conspiracy theory land over here, and I love it. I really love it.
The early days of Bitcoin are super conspiratorial all over the place.
The other thing is the DOJ is using a SegWit address, a native SegWit address, which is good to see.
Bullish on SegWit.
Okay.
Oh, new block just came in.
There we go.
Did it? Very nice. Hodl, what's the craziest conspiracy theory that you actually kind of believe in?
That Helen Keller didn't know how to read or write. Because if you look up in the history of humanity, there's never been another person who was born blind and deaf who learned to fucking read and write. It's basically impossible. And the woman, Anne Sullivan, who was brought in, who was the miracle worker, Helen Keller had rich parents, and they were embarrassed that this had happened to their daughter. So they brought in this teacher with progressive values, and she, every other teacher had given up. So this Anne Sullivan lady was just like, "Eureka! I cracked it!" And guess what? She loves feminism. So here we are, guys.
I mean, the better conspiracy is that she wasn't actually blind, right?
There's that one too, but I think she probably was blind.
All right, Matt, you're up next. I'm putting you on the spot. Conspiracy theories.
Well, I do like the Ray Charles wasn't blind one.
What?
My favorite is that Alex Jones is a deep state plant to discredit other conspiracy theorists.
I can see that.
It's a good one.
That's a really fun one.
That's a really good one.
Brady.
Man, it's a good. There's so many. My neighbor was talking to me about chemtrails last night. Do you guys know about this one?
Oh Lord,
so stupid.
Right?
That's one of the dumb ones.
I had not heard of it actually.
People who tell it to you are always smoking a cigarette too. Like, man, they're poisonous, man.
Right? It's exactly what happened last night too. I had never heard of it. Yeah. I'd never heard of it, and there was some, it's like you should just—they're like seed in the atmosphere, man. It's they're trying to control the weather, and it makes us all complacent. I don't know, just all these.
I had a really stupid friend who told me that one back in like 2011 or some shit, right? And I like explained to him. I was like, no, there's like there's water vapor in the atmosphere, and when the jets pass through, blah blah blah. And he was just like, fuck you, dude. You're a fucking piece of shit. And I was like, what? I don't talk to that guy anymore.
People hold on to those conspiracy theories pretty hard, man.
There's a lot of folks in LA who believe the fluoride one. They put fluoride in the water to dumb you down and make you complacent.
The pineal gland, bro.
Yeah.
It calcifies your pineal gland so you can't communicate with God through drugs. That's how it works.
Yeah. Then you got to clean it out with some DMT.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then you're just you're supporting these auctions, so we shouldn't do that. Don't do drugs.
I love having fluoride in the water, man. I fucking never brush my teeth, and they are solid. You know what I'm saying?
I don't brush my teeth because I like to save money on toothpaste. So I can buy more. I noticed we're all using chairs, by the way.
I'm at my standing desk, bro.
Yeah. Every time I sit down, I hear Pierre's voice in my ear. Only not to.
I did do a chair audit in my house and counted them up, and then I reported the results of my audit on Twitter, and then realized that I didn't count any of the outdoor chairs, nor the hammocks. There's a lot of expensive lazing equipment around here.
Hammocks are multi-purpose. They're more like a bed. I wouldn't lump them in with chairs. I'm going to interrupt this amazing conversation though. We've got a question. Pete, what's the shadiest shit regarding Trump you uncovered during your research? Care to answer?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's a tricky one to answer because what's true and what isn't. I tell you, one of the things you go through these exercises is that finding stuff that's factually true is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Everything's so binary. It's a bit like the politics. Like, sorry, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. Like, if you're debating politics, like if you're debating abortion, you're either against women's reproductive rights or you want to murder babies. Whereas it's not the middle ground. Or climate change is the end of the world, or the end of the oil industry and socialism. Like, again, it's not in the middle. So, that's the thing I learned most about this is like, Russiagate is either a hoax or they're complicit. It's not like there's some shitty stuff in the middle. So, like, I feel bad even raising things because finding the truth is really hard. But there are things that point to, Trump liked to fuck around with a lot of women, right? He would fuck a lot of women, and then he ended up buying Miss World, and then he ended up hosting Miss World in Moscow when he was trying to negotiate Moscow Tower. And then, would it be very surprising that he ended up in a bedroom fucking a chick? Maybe not. Maybe one took a pee on him. Maybe not. What I'm saying is, you can connect the dots to like where that came from, but you can't prove it. But you can connect the dots.
Is that where his orange glow comes from?
I think it might. Most of the stuff, I think that it's not the shadiest shit. I just think the worst thing about him that I discovered is how many companies he fucked over in Atlanta with his failed businesses and failed casinos. Like when he came in, talking about like as a populist under Steve Bannon's kind of like guidance and how much he wanted to help American workers, is just fucking bullshit. He fucked over so many companies in Atlanta with terrible terms, like bullying tactics, and then when his casinos were a failure, lots of people didn't get paid. He just fucked over a lot of companies, and I think it's a real kind of mark on his character as an amazing businessman. He's not an amazing businessman.
No,
he's good at leveraging. He's good at leveraging properties, which have increased in asset value whilst the business is failing.
He's a creature of fiat, man. He lives on debt.
Exactly.
He also, like, half of these buildings that have his name on them, he doesn't even own. He's licensed out his name and his brand.
Well, some of them, yeah. Some he did. Some he owns. Most of them he's indebted. Like he. You know, that's perfect. He's just a creature of fiat. He's not built successful businesses. They're all losing money. All his golf courses are losing money. His university was a fucking fraud. You know, he's just a fucking chancer who knows how to play the system.
Yeah.
Just piece of shit, really.
Really good at it, though. Really.
How dare you? That's our president, sir. Okay.
Not for much longer.
Like I put out the tweets. Like I saw a couple other like it as well, but like on election night, like who's gonna win? And I have two Twitter accounts. One is like a normie account I've had forever. The other one's I made when I got into Bitcoin hardcore. And the results it was basically 50-50 on my normie account, and then it was like 80-20 pro Trump on my Bitcoin account. So
that's what's been really interesting this week is suddenly finding all these people who are completely anti-state anarchists.
It is interesting.
Are suddenly now pro-Trump / 4chan conspiracy theorists.
Oh, are you saying that Bitcoin Twitter participants are LARPing, sir? Sir,
a little bit, just a little bit.
Sure,
just a little bit. It's just like when they start defending Trump, it's like, well, hold on. Sure, a few weeks ago we were arguing because you're against the government state, and I just think people think they're secret Trump fans, and I don't understand why.
I think a lot of people think, who are have anti-state tendencies, though, look at Trump as like a breaker of the state, from like within, like a.
But he's not. He's a complete fucking statist. He's the state. He's part of.
Well, he's an outsider within. He's an outsider within that system, though. So that's part of it.
He played it. Everything he did with Mnuchin, the tax breaks, the amount of money he pushed into his, the amount of money he spent on the Secret Service so he can play golf, or the amount of like events he's hosted at his hotels that the government has paid for. It's all fucking bollocks. People are looking straight past it. It's nonsense.
Yeah, I agree with G-Main.
He spent a lot of his time as a Democrat. He spent another time as an independent. He's flip-flopped his political opinions based on what is better for his businesses, what his dad wanted, and now his political ambitions. It's just fucking bollocks.
G-Main wants us to get back to Bitcoin talk, and I agree.
Tell G-Main to go fuck himself.
That was the thing I got out of this whole fucking bet, and I told you this when we did the show, Pete. I'm just sick of paying attention to who gives a fuck. I don't. If Biden is the president, I don't fucking care. Like, let's go. Number go up.
And what happened to the Bitcoin talk? I want to hear what's the most exciting thing that you think is on the horizon for Bitcoin right now. Like, what's got you super amped, Matt?
Number go up, dude.
You playing Light Night? What's going on? If anyone
says anything other than number go up right now, you're a fucking liar.
I'm in it for the tech. No, I'm getting ready for a bull run. I'm feeling the Bitcoin pump. There's no joke there. What am I most optimistic about recently?
Or excited. Excited, like tech wise, or
Yeah, recently I'm starting to like Liquid. It's starting to come to me. Before I couldn't really understand the value prop behind it. It's curious to me. I've been playing around with it a lot recently. Let me put it that way.
So what are you thinking about using it for, Matt?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I still think I've distilled it down to the best explanation that anyone can come up with, which is it's Ripple without the shitcoin. And it's offensive and it's provocative, and that's part of the reason it makes a good explanation, but it's also because people can understand it. Like, the idea is make something like very fucking centralized but not fully centralized, which is what Ripple is. And because of that, you're able to create transactions that are super cheap and super fast, and maybe just censorship resistant enough to like complete regulatory arbitrage. And because of that, we could have a very simple way of transferring Bitcoin in a more private manner where you're paying lower fees. Like it's instead of trying to make like this perfect, awesome system, which is like kind of what Lightning is going for, they just went for like this really pragmatic approach. And because it has confidential transactions on it, which the negative is that you can't audit the supply. But on Liquid, that doesn't matter because it's Ripple without the shitcoin. So, but because it has that, you can't see the asset or the amount that's being sent. So I can send. So we could do like a coin join where I'm sending like 0.1 sats to you, and I mix that with five Bitcoin, and you couldn't tell. You don't need the same output size. And like there's very interesting heuristic breakers there that you can do without like any kind of coin join or anything. Like I could just when I send a transaction, like I could send a transaction to Brecky where I send him 250,000 sats.
Sounds
and
good.
Then I could send like 10 sats to like 15 other people, and no one would know what payment was the real payment. They would just see 15 transactions go out, and they wouldn't know the amount that went to each one. They would see it go out to 15 addresses. So there's like some really interesting shit that could happen there. And it's very easy. It's like overhead wise, it's very simple. It's
Mac, can I ask a controversial question?
Do you ask questions that are not controversial, Peter?
Yeah, what's going on here?
That's true. But basically, I just don't use Lightning. Maybe I should. I don't. But is Liquid basically a better Lightning?
Well, no. So one of the reasons you don't use Lightning, right, is because it's like complicated to think about in your head, right?
Yeah.
Like with Liquid, it's just like Bitcoin in terms of like UX. Like you just paste an address. You just paste an address from your wallet, and then you get paid to that address, and you're good.
That's what I mean. So like,
and there's no channel balances or liquidity or anything like that.
So all my Bitcoin deep cold storage, a small amount on a hardware wallet, and then like I've got 0.1 of a Bitcoin in Lightning somewhere.
Yeah, or you got like $100 in Liquid, and you just use that as your spending wallet.
Yeah, so basically, is it going to make Lightning irrelevant?
No, I think Lightning is like ultimately what we want to strive for, which is it requires less permission. It's more censorship resistant than Liquid, but in terms of short term, like Liquid is just more pragmatic. It's like a more pragmatic.
My big issue with Lightning
concept.
is it's essentially two different user experiences as a system.
Right.
So if I was thinking about teaching someone to use it, you would teach them how to use Bitcoin, and then you'd have to reteach them this new thing.
Right.
Whereas if you teach them how to use Bitcoin, and you teach them how to use a shitcoin, it's kind of like the same thing.
The bull case of Lightning is that the majority of people just get taught Lightning. They never actually get taught Bitcoin. They just live in this Lightning ecosystem, and then they never actually come out. And maybe someday they're able to accrue enough savings, and then at that point they learn about on-chain. But the idea is that in the beginning, it's just they're just 100% in the Lightning ecosystem. They never fucking leave it.
Matt, who forms the federation, the Liquid Federation?
They have like 16 companies, but the big issue is if it. So the trust model is you need a majority of those companies to fuck you, but there's an element of their federation where if there's a lapse in time, it switches to 2 of 3, and Blockstream controls 2 of the 3 keys. So that's not good. I mean that's it's pretty much custodial, but it's a custodial arbitrage play, right? Where they're like not custodial, and they need to like get around that. But the truth of the matter is the majority of the Lightning ecosystem right now is also not custodial. Like it's like what we're doing, and like no one wants to talk about it because of the regulatory risk. But really the whole play on layer 2 right now in the short to medium term, whether that's Lightning or Liquid, is like interoperable custody. And it is what it is. Like that's the reality. And I think that's fine if the user understands that trade-off. and if it's a small amount. The problem is we're not educating the users of the trade-off because we want to keep regulators blind, or I don't, but like industry players want to keep regulators blind, and they don't want to actually say like my product requires like a significant level of trust in me.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, users are, they're using credit cards, they're using PayPal, they're using custodial things already. I'd rather them be using a custodial Bitcoin product than a custodial fiat product.
Yeah, I mean, our life is custodial. Like before Bitcoin, there was no real non-custodial situation ever, right? Like that just didn't, except I guess you could say it with hard metals. Like if you had gold or something, it was non-custodial. But even with like fiat, like you're trusting their ledger on the back end, like cash.
Dan, what do you think about Lightning Pool? We're on Lightning right now. That was a big announcement this week.
Yeah, that I don't have an informed opinion yet. That is
it's still pretty new.
Yeah,
I did listen to some RHR yesterday, so I've heard Matt's take on it. But I mean,
Marty's bullish.
Yeah, I talked to Marty about it on Tuesday, the day it was dropped. He was on Swan Signal, and I could tell he was excited about it. Providing being able basically to stake liquidity on the network and earn money based on staking that liquidity, and it's non-custodial, so it's not like trusting lending your money on BlockFi or something. Trusting BlockFi. It's a way to generate return or yield on your Bitcoin in a non-custodial way. It's pretty exciting. I mean, Rick, if you're asking me what I'm excited about this week, besides friggin' crazy price rip, that Lightning Pool announcement's very interesting, and we got to figure out what we're going to call it. I don't know if we can call it DeFi, the real DeFi.
We're not calling it yield farming. Like this is not happening, guys. I'm not cool with it.
Lightning.
Li-Fi floating around. That's not.
I don't like Li-Fi either. Fuck that. It's contrived.
Yeah, it is contrived. That's for sure.
I mean,
I call it finance.
I want people I think Lightning Pool is bullish as fuck. I think it's bullish for Lightning UX and becoming a routing node in a more permissionless way, not needing to rely on people to give you inbound liquidity that where you have like this click basically form where it's like only inside Bitcoiners are getting that routing liquidity. I want to push back on the yield thing. Like this is an ongoing meme that we keep seeing, and we saw this with Join Market, and we're seeing it. We saw it with just routing fees in general, and now we're seeing it with Lightning Pool. Like I will believe that there's a reasonable level of return for keeping my Bitcoin hot when there's a reasonable level of return for keeping my Bitcoin hot. Like I have not seen that yet. No. And like we have Alex Bosworth going out there saying that he's made fucking bank on his routing node. And like I've only lost money. Like I've only lost money, and I tried to flex like my Twitter reputation. Like I said, connect to my node. I tweeted it out and shit.
Yeah.
And I've only lost money. So there's a divide there. There's a divide there. People shouldn't be opening Lightning nodes thinking they're going to make money. They should do it for ideological reasons.
You're losing money because of channel opening costs.
Yeah, opening fees, power, like internet.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I mean, and then I'm not even pricing in my risk. Like I'm like keeping it hot, and they're like reporting vulnerabilities while I'm on a road trip. They're like, oh, you got to get this updated in a week.
Yeah,
Matt, I haven't played with it yet. How is the UI then? Like, is it
Lightning Pool?
Yeah,
there is no UI. It's command line only.
Okay, well then there won't be a yield until there's a UI.
Exactly.
That's my thought. Same with Join Market, like.
Right. That's the main issue Join Market's facing as well.
I mean, that's the thing. If there was a banger UI, like I feel like every Bitcoiner would use it. But
we'll get there.
We'll get there. Let's take a look at the chat real quick. Skylar, if you mention Polkadot again, I'm going to boot you.
That was a joke.
I'm joking.
Yeah. But like let's talk about what this next bull run is going to look like. Talk about this. Like we all lived through 2017. We were all around, and what that felt like. I mean, I feel like this is going to be 10 times as crazy. Well, first of all, the company FOMO is going to be real. And I think we might be seeing some happening behind the scenes right now. Because, it's going to take 3 to 6 months or so for these companies to like kind of go through all the motions and get things figured out. And, you've got Square, you've got MicroStrategy, you've got like these fucking Michael Saylor is, a world-class salesman, and he's out there making the case and open sourcing the methodology and saying like, hey, we'll help you get there. And of course, once you get some skin in the game, we all know this, especially on that level, then you're gonna be out there selling and pitching and helping to onboard more Bitcoiners and companies. So look, I feel like this is happening right now, and the company FOMO, we're gonna money printer going burr. Like they're getting that cash. They're like pretty close to that printer. They're gonna be, seeing that look, they can do exactly what MicroStrategy did, buy a bunch of Bitcoin, do a stock tender offering, watch their stock price go up, get rid of the people who aren't interested in that move, that Bitcoin move, and then just whatever's left over, buy more Bitcoin. It's a genius play, and you could just do that over and over again. Watch your stock price go up, buy back some shares and hold Bitcoin. I don't see why every company won't be doing this over the next couple of years. It's gonna be insane.
I mean, eventually it's going to happen. I'm more curious about like what the actual moves are going to look like. Like if you remember back to 2017, like they're like multi-$1,000 candles. Like, are we going to see that again? Is it going to be a steady climb? Like, I don't know. I think it can go either way. But
I think yesterday is an indication. Yesterday was like a mini test pump, and we did nearly 2K, right?
Yeah.
But all in one day. In one day.
We're gonna have a 10K. We're gonna have a 10K minute.
10K minute.
Gonna be fucking insane.
The thing is when people start realizing they're like, what? I'm not fucking selling this shit.
Exactly.
You're gonna be, dude. It happened to me last time. I mean, like, I was scared to dump Bitcoin. I didn't like not sell the top because of ideological reasons. I was like actually scared. I was like, this is it.
We didn't have enough Bitcoin. We didn't have enough Bitcoin, right?
Well, that's
hyper Bitcoinization's upon us.
Yeah,
you never have enough Bitcoin. But I
thought I had more time.
I was like, I'm gonna sell back to dollars. Dollars are evaporating before my eyes.
Is there shit coin? Why am I gonna trade for that shit coin?
Exactly.
But that was.
You start to do the calculation where you're like, I'm funding the enemy because I have to give them capital gains tax. So you're like, no. Then I just like delay hyper Bitcoinization longer. Fuck that. Maybe
imagine like you were having that reaction as an individual last time. Imagine fund managers having it this time, because like they've been in a 40-year regime of like bonds are the thing to store wealth, and that looks like it's over. And there's like what 14 trillion outstanding in treasury bonds, and this is. I think bondholders are the biggest victims of inflation, and I think Bitcoin's going to be the beneficiary of that rotation.
Yeah. I think the one thing, like when you talk about the concept of like maybe escape velocity, like Preston Pish has been, saying, is like the one reason I could see that not happening is because these guys, they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they've had their unit account as the dollar their entire life. And they've also had a lot of maybe like prime assets they've been thinking about getting their hands on for a number of years. And so if they have a chance to dump and like pick up that skyscraper or whatever, maybe they do it. I don't know. So that's one thing I could see happening.
One other question though is like, what is the time frame for hyper Bitcoinization? I know that's a terrible question. Like, what does that even mean? But I feel like a lot of us didn't think about corporate FOMO. It like kind of surprised a lot of people. Shut up, Matt. I know you think about everything. I'm not talking to you.
FOMO everywhere, man. Okay, so I'm just getting you ready. There's going to be central bank FOMO pretty soon.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
I hope you're ready for that.
That's when hyper Bitcoinization.
And that's not priced in yet.
Pretty soon. Record. What do you mean by pretty soon?
Pretty soon, I don't know, fucking 5 years, less than 5 years. Like, what does it matter? It's all bullshit. It doesn't fucking matter. How high is it gonna go? How long is it gonna take? All bullshit. Negligible.
Yeah.
Negligible amount of time. There's a negligible difference in the amount it goes up.
Can
we're
I
not going to know when the central banks start buying. We're not going to find that out until years later.
The little guys are going to buy first.
Let
We
me
don't
ask,
know about those, but we won't know about the big players.
Well, no,
until,
the little
like,
guys are going to secretly
Yeah.
buy. I think.
Yeah.
I kind of dig like just like random little countries, like just stacking sats, just quietly.
That's
I
like the
wonder if
most
we would-
bullish scenario because then they all have to do it competitively.
I really
Exactly.
we would stack. Would we stack through an ally? Like, could we do that?
Well, the beauty is if you stack secretly for a little bit, then you can just announce and it automatically pumps. Like if a Korea or like a Japan or someone did that and just stacked, and then just once they had a lot, they were like, we're accumulating. Like it would just automatically pump. It's just like it's guaranteed money.
Could
but
be
there's no logic to that.
we've ever seen when a respectable central bank does that.
Right.
I've got a question.
Wait, hold on a second. Respectable central bank, is that such a thing?
Well, like Japan or South Korea, I think are really good targets for that.
Right, shut the fuck up. I've got a
What's your
question.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I saw the Hodl video. I know that's what I'm supposed to say.
Has anyone in their head like we thought through if and when they'll sell some Bitcoin? I know everyone says I'll never sell it, but if you're never going to sell it, that's kind of course you'll sell some at some point. Like I, in my head, always set 3 halvings, and we've gone through 1. Always said I'm not going to sell any more for 2 more. Like because each one is like another phase. So retail FOMO, business FOMO, maybe central. But
Stay humble, Austin.
So
I don't know.
Sorry.
Peter.
You know, the more like loan products and shit like that come out there, the more there are ways to not sell it and still, take advantage. And for me, I told myself 10 years when I first bought in 15. We're not even at my first target yet. So I'll
I think you
reevaluate.
spend it, you don't sell it. That's the theory.
Well, yeah.
but
You don't
like
wanna- you don't want to fund the enemy, because you got to
You
pay
spend
capital.
it, you don't sell it. Like we'll be in a Bitcoin circular economy. There's no need to. Why am I converting to? Like, why are people excited about like Coinbase's credit card or whatever?
Right.
Like you're just market selling to buy a good. That's not like I'm looking forward to when you can just spend Bitcoin and the merchant's gonna hodl it and spend it themselves.
I think also like a message I'm always trying to get out there to like, the plebs basically is the billionaires want your seat, man. And, I know that you've had your eye on the house with the white picket fence and the Lamborghini for a long time. But like, if you can just, push through that pain, you're going to end up being a lot richer on the other side. So you got to decide what's important to you. Right. And I can't make that decision for you.
I tell you what is interesting. Sorry, I know this is your show. I wouldn't normally want to raise one of my sponsors, but
the mighty Kraken.
No. The BlockFi credit card that's coming is interesting because it's one where if you spend dollars, you get sats back.
Right, like Fold.
Like the Fold card.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that makes more sense to me.
Those are
that makes
great.
more
I'm
sense
going to
to
dump
me.
all my airline cards for that shit. Of course.
Yeah. So what you could do is you could use the BlockFi card, and that will put sats back into your Casa wallet alongside the Bitcoin you've bought from your Kraken.
And then just go bankrupt and,
But I wouldn't mention my sponsors
Killing
on
it.
the show, by the way.
Wait. I have a funny idea. Peter, let's each shill our respective sponsors.
No, that's rude. I wouldn't do that.
No, I'll shill Kraken, you shill Swan, Matt, you shill American Hodl or something. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, seriously?
I'll show Matt. I'll show
It's not
RHR.
really balanced.
I'll show Bisc and Hodl. Go buy without KYC.
BTC
We're
Pacer.
cool with that.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
wearing my BTC Pay hat.
What would be
What are you
your
gonna say?
There we go.
Hey guys,
Yo.
instead of like saying what do we think is going to happen during the bull run, what would be your advice for people who've never been through a bull run?
Stay humble,
'Cause it is
stack sats.
It's a crazy feeling,
Literally came up with a meme for it.
What's the longer version of stay humble, stack sats for the plebs who are dense?
I mean, you with that Austin today. Did you not see that?
Huh.
I put stay humble, stack American Hodl stats.
Yeah, I saw that.
Stay humble, Pete.
Stay humble unless you're Peter.
There's no humble way of winning a bet.
That's true.
Do we have any shitcoiners watching the show right now? Because to them, I
Shout
would
out.
say, do not FOMO into shitcoins. I made that mistake.
No, I think I mean, if you're gonna shitcoin, like at least run your own node. Like use your own node. Like be a proper shitcoiner. Like don't leave it on exchanges.
What, like run a Cardano node or something? Is that even?
I think you should try. You should try and run an Ethereum node. Like if you
well then you'll find out what a piece of shit it is for sure.
I think you learn a lot about Bitcoin. I think you learn a lot about a Bitcoin when you try and like use a shitcoin properly.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Run your own link node, Mitch.
Dude, listen, don't do the thing where you trade shitcoins this cycle. You're gonna get fucking burned. Don't do that shit.
Mitch, do you run an ETH node, Mitch? A full archival ETH node?
No shaming of Mitch, okay?
I'm not shaming. I'm asking a simple question.
If he wants to own ETH and Link, that's on him.
It's like the day we just went through, the couple days we just went through, like it just hits you out of nowhere and the gains just come flying at you. But if you're not hodling, you're not gonna get any of those gains. You know
but also, like, you need to think of what are your long-term goals? Like Peter said to himself, like, I'm not selling at least until 3 halvings or whatever it is. Like for me personally, like I've said this to myself. We'll see if I actually hold to it. But like I'm not selling during this. Like even if we go up to 100 grand or more, like to me, like I think we're going further than that. And I'm not a trader, so I'm not going to play those games. I think it's good to have a plan and think about it.
Whatever it does peak at, which none of us know. You'll either sell too early and go, fuck, it's gone from 1 to 2, or you'll miss the top and then you'll watch it come down and you'll be like, oh no.
Yo, cheers to Jay Horn in the comments.
When does it stop?
Matt, Marty, Pete, and Lavera are.
There we go. Look, Pete, you got some cred.
Well,
my shitcoin bags.
Cheers, Jay Horn.
Jay Horn, I'm with you. I was still shitcoining when I got to spend some time with Matt in the Caribbean randomly. And I think I was a Bitcoiner by that point, but he tore apart any remaining arguments I had. And my shitcoin.
That sounds pretty high time preference, gentlemen.
No. Okay, so I went to my cousin's fucking wedding, and Brecky was a groomsman.
Yes.
Brecky was a groomsman, which is, can you imagine that from like Brecky's angle? He fucking had no idea, just showed up.
Well, no, I get a text message from your cousin, and it's a picture of you two, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, because he said the usual thing to me, right? Which is like, oh, how are you doing? It's like, oh, you're still doing that Bitcoin thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm still doing that Bitcoin thing. And he's like, I know a Bitcoin guy. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, do you know him? And like, you're like, oh, let me see. But like, you're like, fuck you, like ridiculous. Like we know each other. Like everyone knows each other. And he showed me Brecky's picture. I was like, oh fuck, I know this guy.
Matt, I'll be honest though, if it weren't for that connection, I don't know if we'd be friends. Because back then I was like still a clown. And
I brought you into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
He was like, straight shitcoiner. He was like huge shitcoiner then. He had the fucking awesome Rick and Morty show, but it was just a lot of shitcoining.
It was crypto Brecky, dude. It wasn't either one who was like, "Hey, change your fucking name to Bitcoin Brecky, man." Yeah, God damn it.
Maybe it was you. I don't remember. It could.
There was a while where we were shaming everybody to change their name because some of you still had the crypto handle, and we were like, "No, fuck that, get rid of it."
That was a good rebrand. That was a smart. I mean, if you see crypto in the handle, you just assume the person has no idea what they're talking about.
Yep.
Yes.
Like you can shitcoin, just understand that you live in the Bitcoin industry. You're not in the crypto industry. You're in the Bitcoin.
Exactly. Crypto is one of those words.
Matt, you should change your shows to Tales from the Bitcoin.
Oh no. Well, I mean, I didn't name it, right? I came in on episode 24.
Wait.
And to be absolutely clear, if you go back on the tapes, I almost always call it TFTC. I never say Tales from the Crypt. Coincidence? I don't think it's a coincidence.
Matt, I wanted to hear the breakdown. What happened with Andreas stealing the name? Whatever.
Oh, he didn't like. Marty's just fucking around on Twitter. It's funny when he goes cease and desist or whatever. Like we're breaking copyright.
Yeah.
On Tales from the Crypt. Like the fucking HBO has it first and foremost. Like all these guys, like they fucking think it's clever, just like Marty thought it was clever with the Barstool guys when they came up with it. Thank God they dropped the O. you know. But
dude, have you guys listened
they all
to
think
the
it's
early?
clever, so they all come up to it. Andreas just doesn't even pay attention. Andreas is completely out of touch with the Bitcoin community. He has no idea what's going on. That's the key thing. It wasn't him trying to slight us. He just didn't even know Tales from the Crypt existed.
Yeah.
Right? He was just completely clueless to the point where, I mean, I'm not going to, he like asked which podcast he should be on, and a bunch of people recommended that he comes on our podcast. And then he did the tweet where he was like, I'm not trying to go on more podcasts with white men on it.
Yeah.
You know, and then he went on Stefan's. I'm like, I'm glad we got Stefan there, but still, you know, like
have you thought about
like, that kind of pissed me off.
So
But the Tales from the Crypto thing didn't really piss me off. That's whatever.
We've got two good questions here. One, I was actually going to ask this, and Jay Horn, I'm kind of glad you brought it up. And Matt, you don't have to answer this, but
Oh yeah.
has anyone heard from the Mamadov brothers after
they're doing good.
their fund blew up? Okay, all right, cool.
Messire did. He fucking humble motherfucker. He donated the proceeds from his book.
Yeah.
To a Bitcoin dev under the radar. He didn't want to be called out for it and thanked for it. And look, Murad got fucking killed on March 12th. Okay,
I was defending
like
Murad a while ago.
there's a shit ton of episodes before March 12th happened that was basically just get summed up between me and Murad going back and forth with him being like, I can outtrade this market, and me going, stay humble, stack sats, humble, stack sats. So like it's all there, it's known, you know, it should be a learning experience for people, I think.
The only reason I bring it up is because like we're trying to tell people, like, come up with your own conclusions, do your own research. Murad is the reason why I don't have more Bitcoin, because I was waiting for $1,700 Bitcoin because he kept saying it was coming. So
no. That's what.
Although I'm angry at him.
Well, no, he never said 1,700. That was Tone.
No, Murad went low. He said like between 1,800 and 2,200, and that's why people don't like him. Is because
wait, really? He said that low?
Yeah, he got what
that's
happened,
bad.
I watched the whole thing play out. Like, he basically perfectly called the bottom. Like, he said $80 billion market cap or whatever.
He switched, right? He
switched.
He said this is the bottom now, right?
He should have never switched because he fucking called it perfectly.
No.
Then he became like a mini celebrity amongst the bears, and he was going on Tone's show and doing hyperwave.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And he was not 100% aligned with Tone and the hyperwave guys.
No, but when he got wrecked, he was bullish at that point. And he got wrecked because it went. But at that point, Tone was still saying hyperwave.
Yes, but a lot of the noobs from 17 were watching Murad as an indicator.
Okay, fine. Well, I told them to stay humble and stack sats. Like, they should
of
just
course,
listen
you
to
gave
me.
them the right advice. But I'm saying the reason there's some animosity left in the community is because people were waiting for a lower call. But
personal responsibility.
Yeah, personal responsibility, motherfuckers. Like, it's not Murad's fault that you guys were waiting. I bought it 3,200. Why didn't you? You know
well, I have people that are giving me shit because they were like, Matt, Bitcoin prices pumped so much. I shouldn't have been humble. Like, why? Like, I should have just went whole hog in at a cheaper price, and I stayed humble, and now I'm fucked.
That's
why
I've
shit for saying that.
That's why I've been slightly cutting against Matt's message the whole time. I mean, you know.
But how many people didn't sell because Josh, whatever his name is, said 33K by July?
33K by July.
33K. Like, people.
Listen, dude, if you listen to a random dude on the internet, that's on you. That's on you. But fucking dumb.
Wait, we are going to hit 33K by July, though.
I mean, that's true. This July.
I don't think anyone running a multi-million-dollar fund should be leverage trading on BitMEX.
Well, that was the.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to. You know, that was the angle.
Welcome to Bitcoin, motherfucker.
The angle was that the Americans couldn't.
What do you mean the Americans couldn't?
Which is why he was doing it for them, because he was in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, he wasn't an American fundy, so he could.
Listen, it's an Icarus story. Nobody saw March 12th coming. I mean, dude, you want a fun game? Take your stack and fucking times it by 3,800, which is the March low, and then times it by what the price is today, like 15.6 or whatever. No. And just look at the swing between them, because I never got kicked in the dick harder than on March 12th.
Well, no, and the fucked up part isn't like everyone knew BitMEX was irresponsible. Everyone knew, you know, if you go trade on BitMEX, it's a casino. I think what a lot of people learned on March 12th was that the BlockFi's, like my own sponsor, Unchained Cap, like Lendl, like all these different tools where you were able to basically borrow against your Bitcoin, but in practice you're leveraging Bitcoin, right? And and there was a bunch of people that got fucked on relatively low leverage. They were, at whatever, 50% leverage. And then the price dropped 60, 70% all in one day, and they just got fucking wrecked.
I heard tons of
so I think a lot of people learned a lesson there in terms of like really stay humble. Like you gotta.
People are gonna learn the opposite lesson this next year too. With the upside risk, people are gonna try to time the market, and they're gonna get ripped to the upside, and they're gonna be out of the market.
See, Mitch will never forget March 12th.
100 Bitcoin on March 12th. 100. Think about that shit. Huh?
I love that we can do the comments thing. That's super cool.
Matt, if you want, you can
just hodl,
and I can put it up on the screen.
Dude, if you're in this space long enough, you respect the hodl, because shit is wild as fuck.
I'll tell you something. So I fucked up in 2017. I traded like whatever that amount of Bitcoin I did up to like 180 Bitcoin, right? And then I put half of it into mining and half into shitcoins, and I nearly ended up with fuck all. Like I got really close to the bone. It wasn't a 20K at that point, but it was still like I look there and go, I wish I'd had 180 Bitcoin, and obviously I don't now. But what I've done ever since I stopped trading, which was about 18 months ago, all I've done is some of my invoices are paid in Bitcoin and 25% stays, and then more recently it's been like 50%. I've just kept and put it in, and I keep a little spreadsheet, and every month it just goes up a bit. Every single month I've seen it, I've tracked it. Some months a bit more than others, but the number of sats goes up every single month. There's never a month since then where it's dropped, and that's it. And
that's how you do it.
And right now I'm like, fucking
it feels so good.
It does. It's so happy with where I am now. I wish obviously I wish I'd bought some more, but like every step was responsible, and I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, if there's another bull run, that's quite exciting. So I think that the hodl meme is fucking brilliant.
No, fuck hodl. You gotta stack sats.
Stack sats.
Yeah, this trend to DCA is great.
We've gotten over there were people who were shitting on hodl for a while. It was like the B cashers and shit.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that shit.
The other thing is gambling. I made this year some poker, but I also made quite a bit this month on a bet on the election. Significant month, this one, in that little spreadsheet.
Fucking annoying. Jesus Christ. Dude. Why is the camera only on me, bro? What the fuck? Dude,
let's talk about this. Let's talk about how you feel, Hodl. How do you feel about this?
You know what I hate? When the price goes down and you tell people you're hodling, or like for me, I have hodl in my handle and shit, and people are like, oh, so you're who I've been dumping on. Like, bitch, I'm so happy you made $3,600. Like, I'm sure that's a lot of money for you. Shut the fuck up. Shit pisses me off so bad.
Noticed.
Maximum equations. You don't need a beard to be here, but they are encouraged. FYI.
Dude, I need my block clock. I need it. It's coming. It's in the mail.
I came so close to buying the OG block clock.
Me too. Well, I was harassing NBK. Dude, on
the orange is nice. The orange is nice.
And that's why the mini exists, because I harassed NBK, and I was like,
no, I don't know about that. I think the mini exists because I harassed.
All right, we'll take joint ownership of it, bro.
I've been harassing NBK because I want there to be like a web version or like an app. Like I want
poor guys just getting harassed all the time.
We're like, we want a cheaper clock, goddammit. You made a thing of beauty, but we're unwilling to pay you for it.
I tried to do like layaway. I was like, I'll buy it in 5 years. I'm getting married in I'm not going to say the month, next year, and my lady said we have to invite Rodolfo. Maybe he'll give us a block clock.
Really? Is she full Bitcoiner now?
Yes. Oh, always.
You can't be with Matt and not be.
You got a Bitcoin prenup.
I mean, we started dating in the bear market. 2015. We started dating. She bought the bottom. Leverage.
You got a Bitcoin prenup,
man. That's beautiful.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like it's off brand for me to declare my holdings to the state.
I know.
So I can't discuss that for OPSEC reasons.
He or she who controls the keys owns the Bitcoin. That's all that Bitcoin recognizes.
I mean, I lost all my Bitcoin gambling, so there's no reason to have a Bitcoin prenup.
Dude, in Bitcoin, ownership is 10/10 of the law, or possession is 10/10 of the law.
Anyone going to the Bitcoin 2021 conference in LA? Raise your hand.
When is it?
April. End of April, I believe.
Late April. I think it's April 30th to the 1st.
If the planes are flying.
If the planes are flying, we're gonna get Pete on that fucking plane.
Pete, I want to see you on a one of those freight ships, container.
No, it's not that. It's the planes, whatever. Planes, trains, boats, shit. You're not letting people in from the UK. The UK people can't come to the US at the moment.
You can come.
Nope.
We'll endorse you.
It doesn't matter. 14-day quarantine if I do. 14 days back.
We'll get a coyote to bring you over, man.
I'm over. It's been ages. I think it's the longest I've not seen you in person, Matt, since I discovered Bitcoin.
Yeah, I definitely since I've discovered you.
Yeah, sucks.
So touching. I miss you, bro. I miss the Bitcoiners. I mean, I'm glad I had Dallas. Dallas was good.
All I've got is I've got Ryan Selkis with me these days.
That's ridiculous. I could not. I could not live in that room.
Ryan Selkis.
It's Ryan Selkis, of course.
Why?
The photo changes every now and again. It was for a while. It was Ian Bellina. Then it was Calvin Air and
do your children ask you who that is?
Yeah, I think Ryan Selkis.
Is this Uncle Ryan?
It's Uncle Ryan. Yeah.
Uncle Ryan.
Uncle Ryan runs the full node.
I don't know. I might change it to Pomp.
Pedro McCormack actually looking Brazilian.
I don't see it.
Okay, then.
I disagree. Give us a hard-hitting question, listeners.
Come on, listeners. You got some all-stars.
Give us something hard-hitting.
Ask Matt about privacy. Give him a curveball.
Don't ask me. Yeah, but that's not a curveball.
That'll just be
Is that
Matt
the joke?
pontificating.
I think it was sarcasm.
We like a game of Guess Who. Do you guys have Guess Who?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, where you guess the faces.
Glasses.
Yeah.
That game is
Yeah.
racist. That game
I think
is
it's an
racist
American
now.
game.
You can't play it anymore because you have to be like, there's a person of unspecified origin.
That is true.
Not identify as male, female, or other.
That is probably the least PC game ever. I never really thought about that.
It is.
True.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, he's fat and he's black and he's got glasses. Like,
Yeah.
David Middleton, there is no such thing as alt season. Get out of here. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, how do we get Hodl to do a coin join? Like, what a fucking cuck mentality over there with him.
He doesn't coin join?
He's never done a single coin join.
I did a couple of wasabi coins.
American Hodl.
I've never done
But I haven't
Pete.
ever.
So easy.
Still, every dude, I keep being like, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna care about my privacy, and then I just fucking can't get myself to care. I'm like, it's like Pete still doesn't know what an XPub is, Like he just can't get himself to care.
I never coin joined. He's an XPub.
You both should be ashamed of yourselves.
Barely look at my node.
I blame it
I
on
mean,
just having
Mashinsky can go fuck
hodl
himself.
mentality, Like I just have such a hardcore
He
hodl
can go
mentality.
fucking fuck himself.
We're just responding to comment. I'm just responding blindly to comments, by the way, that no one can see on the stream.
Did you see what happened with Mashinsky?
Yeah, what the fuck was that, Pete?
It was so weird.
What the fuck happened?
So he came out and said, I deleted an interview with him. I was like, you've never been on my show, dude. He's like, and then he was like, he showed a screen grab of a Google result.
It was like a fake show.
It was a show. There was an interview he did on another show.
Oh yeah,
but they used your art.
Yeah, they used my art, and I was like, and then he didn't apologize, and then he started sharing text messages between me and one of his employees. It's like fucking weird. That guy's mental.
So those are weird. Those were real text messages.
That was a real message, yeah. That was at Consensus last year, the year before. But it's just fucking weird. It's like, what?
It was a pretty funny conspiracy.
Hey, that's signs of success for you, Pete. People are lying about being on your show and shit.
Hey, but I invented VoIP. Fuck off.
Kyle Collins, yes, you can sign up for Swan and you can auto deposit to your
CASA.
That's what I do. That's how I roll.
And when you want to level up, come and listen to Tales from the Crypt. I just said it.
And Gigi's on the Swan squad now, and his first project he took on was adding XPubs.
Yeah, let's
roll out real soon. Be able to drop in your Casa multi-sig YPub, I guess.
Oh, hey, I finally signed up for Swan. I'm a Swan customer now. I should have said that.
Yeah.
We're on the Swan Lounge, bro.
Congratulations.
I'm sick of Jack Dorsey's politics.
Yeah, bullshit.
Here we go.
Bullshit.
When do you get one in the UK?
There we go.
When do we get one in the UK?
That's not going to happen. I mean, anytime soon.
Oh, fuck you.
It's just a lot of work. We have a tiny team. It's so much to do in the US.
Peter, I've got a deal for you.
Plus, Obi is running CoinFlow over there.
Grady, hold on. What would happen if you adopt Swan as your sponsor?
I wouldn't, because I'm Team Kraken.
The mighty Kraken.
The mighty Kraken.
At least you all listen to my show.
The mighty Kraken is it's a good meme.
It is a good meme.
It is really good.
It's very good.
I get it.
That was all you,
Dude,
Pete, right? Like you came up with that on the spot, I think, right?
Hey, somebody take that Doge meme where it's like the sad dog and then the big muscular dog and do Kraken and the mighty Kraken. Okay.
Look, the mighty Kraken.
Like it wasn't Pete. It wasn't in the copy that they gave you, right? Like you just sat down. And you're like the mighty Kraken.
No, nobody ever gives me copy. Well, they do, and I just throw it away, and I just make shit up.
We've got Ryan Draycott in the chat. I bet by the end of this episode, he could put that together.
It was very good. I commend you on that one. It was a good one.
The mighty Kraken.
Yeah,
I'm
Nick,
always like, it's one of those ones I'm always like waiting for. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Nick's a good dude, and it doesn't help any of us to speculate on who Satoshi is.
Yeah,
I think Satoshi is Walt Disney, personally.
It's possible.
Right.
Yeah, sell your Hex for XRP.
100.
Food and cereal.
Is Hex that Richard Hart coin?
Yeah.
They're both scams.
Is it actually like?
Dude, can we talk about? No, we don't need to talk about it.
Don't give them any airtime. Sell your
Well,
Hex.
I just thought the only thing I was gonna say.
I can't believe that actually
weird when he chose to launch that. Why would you launch it in a bear market? You fucking.
He's
dumbass.
killing it. He's killing it. Scammers always kill it. Scammers make bank.
He could have done better in a bull market for sure.
Scammers make bank.
I know. You know how much Charlie Lee made off Litecoin?
Bank.
Don't give him airtime. Sell your Hex and then drown yourself. Go fuck
Ross is not going to get a pardon, unfortunately. Not going to happen.
If Trump is lame duck, I think it's possible. It's possible.
Trump could do Snowden maybe, but not Ross.
Yeah, let's talk about Senator Loomis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's bullish.
Got another Bitcoiner in the Senate.
No, but she's a real Bitcoiner.
No, she knows Parker in real life.
Yeah.
Michael Taylor could be Satoshi. What do we think?
Will, right? Will's her son.
Yeah, and Will, yeah.
Yeah, she's a Bitcoiner. She's a straight Bitcoiner.
She is.
We have a senator who has like has cold storage on a cold card.
Yeah.
Like uses her own node and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wyoming, bro. We all got to get to Wyoming and set up the fucking Citadel, man.
We don't need everyone in Texas and Wyoming. Like that's a bad idea.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. No.
Yeah, Loomis is good. I mean,
if you don't want to hang out, Matt, fine, be that way. All right.
Yeah. I still remember when you flew out specifically for a TFTC. That was pretty amazing. I think that was your first public.
Oh, that's right.
I put him in the Uber myself. Yeah, I got him home safe.
I was so drunk after that TFTC. My God,
we got wrecked.
Who the fuck is this guy at TFTC talking about how much he's stacking? Who the fuck is this?
I was saying goodbye to Marty, and it was like when two toddlers leave daycare. We were just like, bye, bro. Like fucking just floating away. Like Matt's like escorting me out.
That was a good app. It was a good rip.
Funny,
the in-person rips are where it's at.
In-person is key, man. It's key.
Matt, you guys need to do more video content. I don't know what's
going on.
No,
I don't like the video content as I do this video content. I feel like it's almost less authentic than just listening, like coming in through your ears. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, but
I like the audio only too. I did that Citizen Bitcoin for 106 episodes.
We've been audio only this whole time. Like once you break your virginity, it's gone.
I did. Yeah. Like,
so we're
you're still
standing above you, talking down to you. from our audio only pedestal. Like,
It's like- it's
I'm
like,
like, why am I gonna do video
What
content?
you mean though?
It's like
Yeah,
actors who
right.
do theater versus actors who do film. You know, it's
You're
like,
just
well, I do
imagining.
the-
You're trying to
I'm in the
imagine what's
theater.
going on. Who knows what's going on during the RHRs? No one knows. There's like flamingos. They're like dancing salsa and shit, and you have no idea.
Hey, bro, I know. I've been there.
You got to think about like the good you can do though. The more you and Marty did video episodes every single time, like
Kyle.
you reach more people and you create more Bitcoiners. In my opinion, people trust faces, whether they're trustworthy or not.
We're here. I'm here. I'm doing this video.
I don't trust Matt. He looks like a shyster.
Yo, fuck you, Pete. I'm your Uncle Jim. You're using my note. I mean, you should. You should use my note. He's not.
I still love RHR. Is still like one of my favorites. No,
It's
no
okay.
offense to Swan Lounge.
It's doing all right.
TFTC in general is still one of my favorites. You know.
Oh yeah, it's top.
No one should listen to it.
It's the second best.
You know, it's the big difference between your two shows is that TFTC just has that like, it has that Rogan feel, like the early days. Yeah, all right, here I'm gonna give you both compliments.
We're not the
Pete,
Spotify Rogan.
Pete, you have the new polished Rogan feel on your show, where it's like, you know, a battleground of ideas, right? And
His face is too
TFTC
big.
has the early insane Rogan feel, where it's like we're all smoking weed and getting drunk as fuck, talking shit, which is like they're both good. One's
Yeah,
better.
I mean, I don't ever like a Rogan comparison because I always think it's just like
See, that's the
nobody's
difference.
Rogan.
it's like buying a car and every car being compared to one specific car.
No, the Rogan. The problem with you, Pete, is that the Rogan comparison is the ultimate compliment. That's the issue.
Dude.
I put out
Shout out RDBTC.
There it is. There it is.
The mighty Kraken. There we go.
I put out a tweet once where I was like, Joe Rogan is the Pete McCormack of everything not Bitcoin.
I did appreciate that tweet. I didn't press like, but I appreciated it.
People are like, you're such a fucking arrogant prick.
Yeah, I mean, you are.
Matt, are we doing another?
Hey Pete, do they think you've got a big head in Bedford? You walk around, you're like, I'll have so many followers, the mighty Kraken. Do they give you shit?
Wait, what's
Do you
Bedford?
walk in? Do you walk
You
into
go down to the
and
pub
you're
and
hey,
you're
it's
like,
the
they're
king
like,
of
look at this
Bedford
guy,
here.
he's all Hollywood. Look at him.
I don't go out in Bedford, really. Matt, we doing another Christmas show? We're gonna set a record because your record's been taken.
Are you gonna come to America?
We can get in. I'll come, but I don't think it'll be.
I'm in
allowed
Kansas City, USA.
I don't think they'll be letting people in, but we'll do it remote. But your crown's been taken, dude.
Who took my crown?
Someone took your crown recently. Was it Sailor? It might have been Sailor.
Well, I mean, that's bullshit. He
What, for
cheats.
4
He's a
hours?
billionaire.
Dude, did you guys see
Yeah, the bull.
Sailor
Let's go. The bull.
Sailor had a shirt on that had 6.15 on it. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yo, like he
Amazing.
can't. He just comes in. He comes in. He goes directly along party lines.
He's
He
wearing
says
meme
exactly
shirts.
what we want to hear,
It's
and
amazing.
he deploys $750 million into Bitcoin. 500 million of it is his company, and then 250 is his own personal income. And then he's just the boss. You know, like what the fuck? Like, is that? I'm cool with it, I guess. I'm cool with it, but like, let's just understand what the fuck just happened.
Dude.
He's the first of many.
I saw an article with him from like right before his entrance into Bitcoin where it's like CEO gets in trouble for calling COVID fake or whatever.
Was it him?
Like, yeah, it was him. And I was like, oh man, he's always been one of us.
Yeah, but even while he's chilling on his yacht, you know, like not with civilization at all.
I want to know where his other yachts are. He has what, 6 or 7? He said.
You know, so we're the only podcast, pretty much the only major Bitcoin podcast that has not had him on yet.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to go on it.
No. So we'll do it in person. Like, Michael, if you're listening to this, we'll do it in person. We'll fly out to you. You know, I think like we're going to need at least 5 days to do the recording. And we're happy to stay on your yacht if that's what it requires.
You can stay on. Apparently, he has 7 yachts, so you can.
Yeah, but you know, one of the yachts. Give me the worst yacht.
Yeah,
dude.
I'll take
Marty
yacht
and Matt
number
will-
7.
They'll share a stateroom.
He's the most humble yacht.
Yeah, and I don't even need. You don't have to provide the jet. I'll fly commercial.
Take the TFTC jet. Take your own
Yeah, Southwest.
We need to start getting some more like non-Bitcoin people. Like everyone's doing the circuits. It's the same fucking interview every week. We need to red pill some more people.
We're red pilling plenty of people. It's fine. Everything's good. We're good.
I want Ice Cube.
I want Ice Cube.
I want Ice Cube. I really want Ice Cube.
Keanu is. I would love to get Keanu on, man.
There are some behind the scenes major CEOs that own Bitcoin, but they're not willing to publicize. Can I say? I've already said
you can't say bullshit that you have like a private line that you're not allowed to say.
Well, it's a privileged source, but
bullshit.
His name, it's Tim Cook, Apple CEO.
Yeah, I was talking to him earlier, and he was like, "Hi, Peter."
So you think Tim Apple has a decent Bitcoin stake right now?
No, I know so because there's maximalists everywhere, and somebody who was at the shop where he bought it told me about it. So
nice.
So he bought his Bitcoin at a shop.
Yep.
Hodl was at like the Mac Genius bar talking to the genius, and the genius was like, "Yeah, I think he has Bitcoin."
Yeah. Why do you think it's in the stock section of the App Store?
Listen, the person who said it could be lying to me, but it just makes sense, especially with the allocation. They said he bought $5 million worth, which is on his net worth is nothing.
That's it.
That would be a 1% allocation. You know,
be more than it, like less than that.
I think there's a lot of people who have 1% allocations that we just don't know about. There's also a lot of tech billionaires we never talk about, like Mark Andreessen is holding a fucking shitload. Reid Hoffman is holding.
Mark Andreessen was our 2013 gem. Okay, we talked about him plenty. We talked about him plenty.
Yes, but he hasn't been on a podcast in a long time. I don't even think
he just hasn't been on any of the podcasts. He doesn't do the podcast.
Right, I know, but me and you know that, but not a lot of people.
Chamath was our boy. He's still our boy. Like they're like OGs.
Like where's
Ashton has a ton. Like Ashton Kutcher, he was a big Ripple bag holder too.
He's a Ripple bag holder too.
No, but major Bitcoin bag holder. Major Bitcoin guy.
He was buying it 400, 500, yeah.
Robustus is like, he's like, these are all my boys. You can see him squirming in the background. He doesn't want to
I
talk
was just
about
trying
it.
to remember what, like, Chamath said recently, or I don't know when, that he, like, at one point he had 5% of all.
Yeah, him and a friend.
Like
yeah, him and
Wait,
a friend.
he said that he had 5% of all Bitcoin?
Something,
or the available
like
supply
in 2013, I believe. So, obviously
he's more humble about it now.
Yeah.
And then we have Peter Thiel. We have Peter Thiel. He's involved.
Fuck Peter Thiel. Fuck Peter Thiel again.
What's wrong
I
with
mean,
Peter
I
Thiel?
agree. Like, he can go fuck himself.
Fucking closing
What
down.
don't you like about Peter Thiel?
What he did when he closed down Gawker? Fuck him.
Dude, that was
I don't
fucking
care about
genius.
Gawker.
That was genius as fuck.
No, I don't care about Gawker. I care about what the power he used to close down a media company.
Well, maybe have you thought about Gawker not being a huge piece of shit?
Well, how about Palantir?
Yeah,
Let's
but
talk
then,
about
Palantir is way
Palantir.
worse.
right, but what?
Palantir is what chain analysis wishes it was.
Yeah. Fuck Peter Thiel and his virgin blood.
Blood boy.
Going through his
Blood
veins.
boy.
Okay, Peter
Blood
Thiel's
boy.
definitely not a virgin. I will die on that hill.
No, he has virgin blood. How do you know? Were you giving him blood 10 years ago?
No, I just think like, so he's like extracting virgin blood and put like that's an interesting conspiracy. theory.
Well, no, that's the
whole life extension thing.
Hold on,
That episode of Silicon Valley is based on Peter Thiel with the blood boy.
Oh, I saw that episode. So that was like a documentary.
That's exactly
That's
a real thing. Yeah,
Well, that's weird.
that is weird.
Well, who else we got? What other Bitcoiners are like covert? Or, I mean, billionaires are covert.
Mark
under the
Cuban
radar?
definitely has a bag.
Yeah, he said he did. He said he did.
Elon has a bag. Like you don't post Dogecoin memes unless you
Yeah,
have a
that's
big
true.
bag of Bitcoin.
These guys
I
all
don't think that happens.
All got in 2013, like when Wences was initially pushing it in Silicon
Right.
Valley.
Wences got a shit ton of people.
Yeah. Wences was like the man in Silicon Valley.
He was the OG billionaire shill.
Also, he was the
Yeah.
first guy to use irresponsible, and in that book, Digital Gold, where Raoul Pal got it from is when Wences was asked how much of his net worth is in Bitcoin, he would tell people, I have an irresponsible portion of my net worth in Bitcoin, which is a great way to signal how much you believe in it. And
which is probably true for Wences. I think Raoul has no idea what irresponsible is for most Bitcoin.
Yeah, Wences' version of irresponsible is like king shit, you know?
Here come Corey.
Hey, gents, it's this is one of our longest episodes. We're going on, and I'm having a great time, and I'm actually happy to go on all day. But I know Brady's got to go, so I want to get to the Swan Force.
You guys are welcome to continue to hang out. I am going to stick around for this section for sure.
Yes. Swan Force Fridays. Anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to put you all on the spot and give you 90 seconds or maybe 60 seconds to give us your Bitcoin pitch. And it can be for anybody. It could be, you could tell us, hey, I'm going to do a Bitcoin pitch for my boomer dad, or for the billionaire I met at the bar, or for the, hottie I met at the blackjack tables for American Hodl. Whatever it is.
I'm married, bro.
So who wants to go first?
Nobody. Next segment.
I'll go first with a quick one that I would give to somebody if I don't know where they're coming from. I'll ask, do you want the government and banks to know all your financial details? Usually say no. Do you want government and banks to know or to be able to stop you from transacting? Of course, they say no. Do you want government to be able to inflate your savings away? Again, they say no. So just reply, congratulations, you're a Bitcoiner.
Wow, that was less than 30 seconds. All right.
That's amazing.
Peter.
Well honed.
Peter, I'm putting you on the spot. You're up next.
If you're a degenerate gambler and you want to make money, all you have to do is find a delusional American based out of Vegas, put out a bet where they get worse odds than they get in the casino with the bookie, make the bet, take their stats off them, and then laugh in their face for the next year as you take their money off them and it grows.
Not quite what we're going for, but I'll take it.
So sad.
American Hodl, you have a rebuttal.
All right. Do it. Bitcoin is restorative tech. Bitcoin is not some new progressive revolution in the history of money. It's putting money back to how money is supposed to be, which is something that's actually scarce and not something that can be gamed by elites who don't have your best interest at heart. What am I losing time, bro?
It's Greg's fault. He thought we were going to.
So anyway, you should just stack sats and stay humble. There you
go. Matt, I would hazard a guess to say that you're potentially our wisest guest.
Let's make it hard on Matt. Let's give him 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Let's go. Give me 10 seconds.
I'm gonna give you 21 seconds.
Okay, perfect.
Ready, go.
Hello, sir. Or ma'am. Bitcoin is freedom money. It's the best money we've ever had. As more people realize this, the price should rise. You should consider buying some.
Boom. That was 10 seconds. See? The hello, sir or ma'am took 4 seconds itself.
I know. I just added it because he gave me 21 seconds, so I might as well take it. Incentives, keep that in mind.
It's true.
All right. Not bad.
That was fucking fantastic. It's the best money we've ever had. As more people realize that, the price should rise. That's all anyone really needs to know. That's it.
I disagree.
That sums it up.
I disagree. The best money we've ever had, but to the casual person who's like, I got dollars, what's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? I don't know. What's the fuck? Show me dollars.
Yeah, but I don't have to show you dollars. It's incumbent. Everybody.
Well, I don't care. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. I don't have to sell it to you.
All right, that's fair. Oh, sell me this pen.
Well, it's a great pen. You should buy it.
Well, folks, it might be about that time, but I've still got.
Hey, here's to a great week in Bitcoin. And a foreshadowing of many to come. We had a $3,000 week this week. I think we're at 15K. I bet we get a 15K week sometime next year.
Brady.
I agree. Hodl, sell your moped for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Eat this pen. Any more comments before we go, folks?
Money for the people, by the people, run by Bath.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great way to end.
That was pretty good.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here next week, Friday, probably the same time, maybe not. If you're enjoying Swan Signal Live and Swan Lounge, please hit subscribe and hit like. We appreciate it. Sign up for daily buys, swanbitcoin.com/daily buys. Get paid to recruit new Bitcoiners, swanbitcoin.com/enlist. You'll earn 25% of Swan's fees for 3 years. That's way better than the Mighty Krakens program. Your referral gets $10 of free Bitcoin, too. Brady's holding up 21 Lessons. I assume he wants you to go read Gigi's book, which is 21lessons.com, tftc.io, whatbitcoindid.com, and casebitcoin.com. American Hodl doesn't have a website, and he sometimes doesn't have a Twitter account, but you should be able to find him. All right, folks. Much love. Stay humble. We'll see you next week.
Stack sats.